I've spent the past week at my parents' new house, which has given me a lot of time to be outside in nature, reflect on my life, and enjoy the peace and quiet. Sometimes it takes life slowing down to realize what's important. Your mind clears up, you're less stressed, and you spend more time doing things you care about. These are a few ways minimalism has improved my life. My minimalism journey all started when I went into my first year of college. I had to move everything into this tiny ass dorm, and I made an effort to only bring one car down with all of my belongings, and whatever I could bring, I would fit that in my room. I didn't know the term minimalism at the time, but it was important for me to downsize and bring a few select items that I truly cared about and would bring value to my life. And then I came across the term minimalism, and at first, I didn't vibe with the term. To me, it seemed like people were just living this extremely minimalist life where I was like, why don't you spend money and enjoy the finer things in life? But I did enjoy the minimalist aesthetic, having space and using that space efficiently to make everything look so simple and clean. One example in the digital world for design is the Google homepage. It's just a Google brand with the search bar. That's it. That's really all you need. I think one of the biggest reasons why people are reserved on minimalism and are not practicing it is because of a large PR problem. People see minimalists as throwing away so many different items that they personally wouldn't want to throw out, but they don't realize that minimalism is a very personal thing. You throw out what you want to, what doesn't bring value or joy to your life. And I think people aren't really sure what minimalism means. They might know what it looks like for other people, but wouldn't know what it looks like for themselves. And so if you don't know what minimalism is, it's basically removing the things that don't bring value into your life. And by doing that, you open up room in your life to bring in the things you actually care about. And for me, the reason why I actually started minimalism was because my parents were huge hoarders, which probably stemmed because when they were kids, they didn't have much. They really didn't have anything. And so now they hold on to all of these items that they think they'll use in the future, like years from now, just in case they need to use it. And then they also hoard a lot of sentimental things, which makes sense. You know, you want to keep all of those things. But to me, I'm like, do you really want to keep all 20 of my soccer team photos in the hallway so everyone can see? Like, I don't even care about that. Minimalism has become the backbone of my decision making, and when I make decisions, there are usually two factors that I care about most, and that's time and money. And so because I'm practicing minimalism, I've taken a lot of I've set up my life so that I don't have to waste time making certain decisions, such as having a wardrobe that is full on neutral colors, so I don't really have to worry about which outfit's gonna match or not. Another example is with the food that I eat. When I go grocery shopping, I usually bulk buy a few select things that I know I'm gonna enjoy every single time, and that's it. I'm a simple person. I pretty much cook the same thing every single day, and then I mix and match different vegetables and different kinds of meats and whatnot. Because I have so much time left over, I'm able to allocate my time to things I truly care about. These are the moments I spend with friends and family, on the hobbies that I enjoy doing, and other things I like to do in my free time. And one thing I've come to terms with is not feeling bad about things that I don't do. In today's society, it kind of feels like everyone goes out every single weekend. That's the expected thing to do. Go out to bars, drink, go to clubs, and party every single weekend. And while I do like to go out from time to time, I don't feel bad about just staying in, watching Netflix, or doing other things. Video games. When it comes to money, minimalism has helped me manage my money in a huge way. When it comes to savings, I'm able to save a lot by purchasing a car that I don't really care what it looks like. I purchased a 2010 Toyota Yaris, a tiny ass car, for $3,700 in cash, and this is a lot cheaper than what people usually pay for. but to me, what I look like in a car doesn't really matter. I just use it to commute to certain places, and I don't spend a lot of my time in a car. And because of that, I don't have to buy a brand new car and pay more insurance because it's brand new, and then also pay off a car loan. When it comes to spending, minimalism helped me direct my spending towards things that I truly care about. These are a couple things such as travel and going out to eat. I save money in other places so that I can redirect all the money I've saved in certain places to things that I enjoy, such as investing or traveling and convenience. Like being able to Uber into DC and back is huge because parking is and it has really helped me value my relationship with money, being able to optimize it, truly care about it, learn about it, and then pursue financial independence because freedom is a big thing that I care about. For those of you who don't know, financial independence is a movement, or it's part of the FIRE movement, Financial Independence Retire Early, where people have crazy savings rate, but then later in their 30s, 40s, 50s, they have a huge lump sum of money where they can live off the investments over time. And essentially what this means is that their money is making as much money as they're spending, so it's an infinite loop. They can continuously spend a certain amount of money for the rest of their life. In a lot of ways, minimalism and FIRE are two movements that are very similar. There are people who discard it, saying that it's not for them. And for minimalism, you see a lot of parents being like, I have 3 kids, there's no way I can practice minimalism. But even practicing it or pursuing it a little bit helps a long way. Being able to downsize and minimize your belongings makes you a lot less stressed, and you're not tripping over all of your toys or whatnot. And for financial independence, even practicing good spending and savings habits will put you ahead of a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck.
One of my favorite all-time podcasters, Paula Pant, says, "You can afford anything, but not everything. Every decision you make is a trade-off between something else." And taking this mentality with life really helps you prioritize what you value.
One thing that I've realized is that I don't have to fit into the molds I actually don't own a lot of stuff, and I'm content with that. At one point, all of your belongings start owning you. And with less belongings, I stress out less about them. And I also just like spending my money towards new experiences rather than new things. I think new experiences bring me more happiness in the long term, and they become stories and memories I can share with other people. Another thing is that power, status, and money is not everything. Something I realized is that if you're pursuing these things, you are probably sacrificing another thing because of it. And I'm talking in terms of like career wise. So if you get promoted and become a manager, then you have more responsibilities and you might end up working more. And in that case, you would give up some of your work-life balance. I'm someone who actually gave up a higher paying job because I would be working more hours than the current job that I have right now, which has an amazing work-life balance. And that's something that's really hard to give up right now, because as much as I, enjoy doing work and being productive, I work to live. I work to have a great life outside of work rather than living to work. And lastly, getting a higher degree or an advanced degree is not always the better choice. For those of you who don't know, I'm actually a grad school dropout. I did 2 classes in grad school and decided not to continue it because it was taking up a lot of time. And I see a lot of people going to private schools or out-of-state schools and paying hefty prices like $50,000 a year in tuition just to go to these schools. And if you have the money and you can pay for it, that's great. But a lot of people are going into a lot of debt where they could have made an alternative choice and be in a better financial position. There are a lot of ways to save on money, going through scholarships and getting those, or going to a community college for 2 years and transferring to a state school and completing your college over there. But for me, the reason why I decided not to continue with grad school, even though it was being paid for by my employer, now you guys probably think I'm dumb, but I didn't want to spend all of my time outside of work doing homework. I wanted to enjoy the very little time I had enjoying life. Honestly,
a jump from a bachelor's degree to a master's degree in computer science didn't convince me to continue doing the master's program. It's honestly a tough decision. Like, doing grad school might make me more money in the future, but the time I have right now is really important. I see a lot of people in their 30s, 40s, 50s who regret not living life a bit more in their 20s, and it's that balance of, enjoying your time while setting yourself up for the future.